Now we will go back to the backward pass. So we will move backward. The time will be calculated backward. So time will be moving backwards. As I've said, we'll be putting something here so that it does not affect. Only thing that we require is the value 56 over here. So I put something and then we calculate. Yes, right. So we have put something here so that it does not affect. Only thing that we require is the value 56. So we have already got the value 56. So 56 minus 9 gives you 47, and 56 minus 16 gives you 40. Then next node is 8. So latest finish time at node 8 is, so when I'm putting as I've said, in this case this particular column, this node are my finish values and this node are my start values. So latest finish at 8, then to get that value I'll go back, refer where I have reached 8. So I have reached 8 at 47. So that means at 8 latest finish time is 47. So to get this values we have to subtract this. So we will use this for latest start time is latest finish time minus Tij. So in this case Tij is Te for part. It is expected. Small t is my Tij. It's better, it's written Te. Okay. So 47 minus 9 gives you 36. And then 7, yes, 7 I've got 40. So here it is 40 and there it is 40. For both the cases, both of them are 7s. So in value that, so 40 minus 18 is 22, and 40 minus 10 is 40 minus 10 is 30. Okay, fine. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It's again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So F6, 6. We have got two values. If we refer back, so 6 we have got 36 and 22. Two values. So we have to take the minimum. So 22 is the minimum. As I've said previously, that when we are moving in the backward pass in a particular node, if we get more than one value, we have to choose the minimum. When we are moving backward in a particular node, if we have got two or more values, then we have to choose the minimum value. We have to take the minimum value. And when we are moving forward in a node, if we are getting more than one value, then we have to choose the maximum. So backward pass minimum, forward pass maximum value have to choose. Right. So 22 minus 9 is 13. 22 minus 9 is 13. Then 5. Where did I get 5? 5 is 30. Yes, 5 is corresponding value is 30. So both the values will be 30 here and 30 here. So 30 minus 16. 30 minus 16 gives you 14. And 30 minus 11 gives you 19. Fine. So again at 4. So 4, what did I get? 4, there are two values. So what are those two values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 14 and 13. These are the two values. So we have to choose the minimum. So 13 minus 9 is 4, and then 3. At 3, what is the value that we have got is if I'm not, so there is a because of the box, the calculation. I was thinking of not making the box, but I had to do it. So yes, now it is okay. So 2, not 2, and 3. I have to put the value at 3. So 3, what we have got is 19. So 19 minus 3 is 16. 19 minus 3 we have got is 16. Then at 2, so at 2 we have got two values. So 4 and 19 are those two values. I think we have made again some mistake. This will be 4. See, this is 3. I have to put 3 is 19. 3 is 19 is fine. Yes, 4 and 16. Oh, so we have to do 4 and minimum of 4 and 16. We get 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. Again, let's check. Let's recheck. So our value was 56. 56 minus 9 is 47. So both at 9, the value is 56. So we put 56 at the node 9. So 56 minus 9 is 47, and 56 minus 16 is 40. Fine. At 8. So 8 value at 8 goes here. So 47 goes here. 47 minus 9 is 36. Oh shit. Sorry, I made a major mistake. 47 minus 9 is 38. See, there is a calculation mistake. A lot of mistake. So let's just do it again. So 56 minus 9 is 47. 56 minus 16 is 40. Yes, 47 minus 9 is 38. And here at 7 we have to put the value here. This value comes here, 40. So at both this case, this is 40. 40 minus 18 is 22, and 40 minus 10 is 30. Fine. Then you have to put the value at 6. So where did I get 6? I got 6, yes, 38 and 22. So those are the two values. So I have to take the minimum. So I put 22 over here. 22 minus 9 is 13. Fine. Then at 5. So 5. What value I've got? I've got 30 at 5. So I put here 30. 30 minus 16 is 40. 30 minus 11 is 19. Fine. Then note 4. We've got two values, 14 and 13. You have to put the minimum. So I put it minimum. 13 minus 9 is 4. Fine. In 3, at 3 what value I've got is 19. 19 minus 3 is 16. Then these two are the 2's. So 16 and 4, minimum value I have to take. Minimum value is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Now it is okay. I think only one mistake I have made. So now we'll calculate the total float part. So for total float we'll be using this particular formula, LST minus EST or LFT minus. We have to check both. So 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 19 minus 4 is see, there is a mistake. No, it's okay. 19 minus 4, no. 19 minus 7 is 12. 16 minus 4 is 12 again. Fine. 13 minus 13 is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. Fine. 30 minus 18 is 12. 19 minus 7 is also 12. 30 minus 29 is 1. 14 minus 13 is also 1. 22 minus 22 is 0. 13 minus 13 is 0. 40 minus 39 is 1. 30 minus 29 is also 1. The 40 minus 40, 0. 22 minus 22 is also 0. 47 minus 31 is 47 minus 31 is 16. 38 minus 22 is also 16. 56 minus 56 is 0. 40 minus 40 is also 0. 56 minus 40 is 16. 47 minus 31 is 47 minus 31 is also 16. So yes, so all the values match. So that means our calculation is correct. Then what we'll do, we will double circle the 0 values. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and that means that my critical path is A, then C, then after that it is F, AC, F, AC, F, H, and finally it is J. So this is my critical path. As you can see, A, C, F, H and J. So critical path is A, C, F, H and J. And let's write down the sigma square values also for each and every activity because this is also required. If I had a little bit of space over there, I could have calculated the values over there. So 4 by 9, then 0, 1, 1, 4, 0, 4 by 9, 9, 1 by 9, 9, and finally it was 25 by 9. So yes, so now we'll write TE, that is the expected duration of the project. Expected duration of the project is the critical duration of the duration of the critical path. So what we will do, we will just add the TEs of the critical path. This, then this, and this. So what we get is, it's capital T. I have denoted capital T for that is the duration for the expected duration of project, and small t the expected duration of each activity. So please note that also. So this is 4 plus 9 plus 9 plus 18 plus 16, which gives you 56. So 4 plus 9 is 13, 13 plus 9 is 22, 22 plus 18 is 40, 40 plus 16 is 56 is the expected duration. Mind that this is expected duration. It is not necessary that the project will be completed within 56 days. And what is the expected duration of the what is the expected standard the standard deviation of project? For that we also add these values. So we denote standard deviation of the project, or this we denote project standard deviation is equals to square root of sum of the variances of the critical activities. So we have already found out what are the critical activities, and we have already found out the variances of the critical activities. We have marked them. So to get that, we will just add. So that is 4 by 9 plus 1 plus 0 plus 9 plus 9. So 9, 9, 18, 19. So this gives 19. 9, 18 plus 19. 19 into 9 is 171. So 175 by 9. It comes across approximately, if we calculate, Root over 175 is approximately, root over 9 is 3. So if you use calculator, this is root over 175 by 9 is equals to it comes approximately 4.4095. So approximately 4.41 we can say. So that's the standard deviation. The project standard deviation was 4.41 days, and so we have calculated the duration of the project, expected duration, not the exact duration. We have calculated the project standard deviation. Now there is still something left. So then find out the critical path. So we have found out the critical path, expected project duration and standard deviation of the project. Yes, what is the probability that the project would be completed within 60 days? So as we have said, T is the expected duration is 56 days, and it is not necessary that the project will be completed within that particular duration. But how some say, if there is some limit is given, some time duration is given, that there is a limit that you have to complete it by certain days, then how we can find the probability of completion of the project during that particular time? So for that we will be using the normal distribution table, and we will always, as we have done it earlier in case of standard normal distribution. So here we will be using the standard normal variate. So let me write. We will use the standard normal variate as Z equals to is equals to due date minus TE by sigma. As we know that to standardize any variable we use Z minus x minus mu by sigma. Z can be standard, where x is the general value, mu is the mean, and sigma is the standard deviation. So here is the same. T is the expectation, mean is the same thing as that of expectation. So this is how we standardize any variable. So here we will be using the same formula to calculate the value of Z. So let's calculate Z equals to, here due date is 60 days because the time given is 60. So due date is 60 days. So 60 minus our T is 56 days, and the standard deviation we've got is 4.41. So if you calculate, this comes across, the value of Z comes across so 4 divided by 4.41, value of Z comes across 0.907. So comes across approximately. So that means if we draw the standard normal curve, more or less this is standard normal curve. This is Z equals to 0. So 0.907, say this is 0.907. So that means expected completion probability is more than 50%. So 0.907. If we see the table, if we see the standard normal table, you can find what will be the exact value. But if the values are not given, you can always draw this. So expected completion probability is the area of the curve under the standard normal curve. So this particular shaded area is the expected probability of completion of the project within 60 days, and this unshaded region is the expected probability of not completing the project within that period. So the probability of completion is probability Z is less than equals to 0.907, and obviously this is a project completion probability. And 1 minus p z less than equals to 0.907 is project incompletion, will not be completed. So that is the probability. So this is how we calculate using part. As we have said, the only difference in case of part and CPM, critical path method, part is probabilistic model, and instead of having a single duration for each activity, we are given 3 different durations of which are optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time. And using those 3 times, we have to calculate something called expected duration of each activity using this formula, and the expected variance of each activity. Because it is varying, so that's the probability method. Probability comes into place, and after we find out the expected duration, we just simply use the way we have used in critical path method. So calculate the earliest, latest, and total float to find out the critical path, and also the expected duration and project standard deviation is calculated that way, and probability of completion of the project is calculated similar way. So I hope the students have understood it and try and please try to apply this in some other problems. So please practice and try to be remember these formulas. Thank you.